Hey everybody, it's that VA Cowboys fan again, coming back at you. Just to make this video today on my way to work. If you saw the news, there's been a lot of injuries coming out of week 2 in the NFL. So apparently, let's start with the two biggest news. Drew Brees, number one, New Orleans Saints. He hit his hand on Aaron Donald's hand, apparently, and tore some ligaments in his thumb. Now, if you saw the video, you could tell it was definitely damaged as soon as it happened. And afterwards, when he tried to pick up and grip a football, he couldn't even pick the ball up. So that's a major blow for Saints and their chances, even though he'll only be out 2 to 4 weeks, but you never can know what can happen in those 2 to 4 weeks. We don't know if Teddy Bridgewater can actually hold the ship down until he gets back, because the way he played yesterday was not the best. So the Saints fans are hoping that Bridgewater, with more time in the offensive scheme and playing with the starters, will help their franchise at least keep it competitive until he gets back. Other news, Ben Roethlisberger done for the season with an elbow injury. If you saw the video of that play, it was a non-contact injury. Apparently, during a long throw, something must have happened, and it just, who knows. He just gripped his elbow as soon as the throw motion was over, and he went over to the sideline, and that's it. That's your season. That's the NFL for you, ladies and gentlemen. You never can tell when one injury can derail your season or your career, as some would say. So that's bad news for Pittsburgh fans who had James Conner also exit the game early too. And now you're without a top wideout like AB. You don't have Le'Veon Bell to depend on. Connors is hurt, and your franchise quarterback is out. So now they got to turn the reins over to Mason Rudolph or find another capable quarterback, since they traded away Dobbs. So who knows what's going to happen with Pittsburgh. I know some Pittsburgh fans who had high hopes this season, but they seem to be dropping like flies right now. So who knows? And even though they gave an extension to Mike Tomlin, I'm pretty sure they still think his seat is pretty hot. As far as the Cowboys go, Antoine Woods, he hurt his MCL during the game, his knee, so he'll be out a couple weeks. Thankfully, this is why we drafted for depth. We have Tristan Hill, our second round pick, that is going to be on tap to get some playing time probably. So that's a good thing. He's going to finally get to see some real game action. Hopefully he can get up to speed, make some kind of an impact, get some kind of pressure. Just, he doesn't even have to live up to the hype or any draft grade status. I just hope he can maintain and, stop the runs that dashes up the middle. Just do your job and just sit there and be an anchor on that line. Michael Gallup, he is going to be gone 2 to 4 weeks as he has arthroscopic surgery on his knee to shave down his meniscus, apparently. That is a bit of a major blow, but thankfully, as usual, Cowboys do have receivers that can pick up the slack on that one. Thankfully, you can put in Randall Cobb to be a starter, because that's what we got him for. And let's be honest, Cole Beasley would have never been able to do what Cobb has been doing this season, to be honest. He was a good player for us, but that's when you had two guys who didn't get hurt at the time and could man the outsides at all times. But now that somebody of Gallup's range and position, you need another outside receiver, not a slot man. But thankfully, Cobb can play both positions. And if he's going to have to man the outside, that means somebody's going to have to step up to that slot position. Now, this is where it gets fun, because Zeke and Pollard are also options out of the backfield, even if you don't have somebody like Tavon Austin, who is a wide receiver. So that's going to help you, because you can still go 4 and 5 wide and put a running back out there in space because he can double as a receiver. You don't really necessarily have to have a receiver in the slot. And we got multiple tight ends, even though Witten is still good for that 5 yards and a touchdown. We can put Blake Jarwin in to take over a spot of a wideout if need be. But you also have Devin Smith, who put it on this Sunday. You know, he's looking to redeem his career, and he looked darn good doing it, catching that 51-yard bomb for a touchdown. So he's already there. He showed he can be a speedster or play any position if need be. We also have Cedric Wilson. He can be activated. So we got options, and plus it's the Dolphins. So if the game plan is to limit our wide receivers and to take it and still beat the Dolphins, I think our best bet is to lean on our running backs. I mean, Zeke is ready for it, and because we have limited him so far this season, it wouldn't be a bad idea right now to change the game plan up and go a little bit more traditional like we've been doing the last couple seasons with him, just to put less pressure on our receivers to do so much with them being hurt and a little down. So, you know, we got options, basically. But, yeah, Redskins lose. People are making excuses saying, oh, they're just the Redskins. Well, the week before, oh, it's just the Giants. I mean, a win is a win, and 2 wins up against the division, and 2-0 sitting on top of the division because Philly lost last night. I'll take it. I don't care if y'all say they're the worst teams in the world, but a win is a win no matter what, because if we lose, everybody's going to say it's something. When we win, nobody wants to give us our due. Cowboys will never get their due no matter what they do. Dak will never get the love he deserves. So I don't even try to fight the argument. You're just going to have your version of hating the Cowboys in whatever capacity you have, and there's nothing that's going to change your mind. If you hate the Cowboys, you hate Dak, you hate Zeke, you hate anything about the organization, you're just going to hate. You're going to find excuses to hate, and that's just what you're going to do. If you love the Cowboys, you get sick and tired of defending them half the time. Talking to some Pittsburgh Steelers fans, there's always excuses. Oh, this reason it happened, that reason it happened. Oh, boo-hoo. Philly fans are finding reasons to make excuses why they lost last night. But I'll give them credit. They put up a good game. I really thought that Philly was going to pull it out because Atlanta has that tendency to go to Julio Jones if all else fails, and they will throw to him 4 straight times if it doesn't work. Now, that last play where he did beat him for that 50-yard run, catch and run, that was impressive, but you could swear that that offensive lineman, when he collapsed and took out the corner, that could have been construed as interference, but they didn't call it. But you never know. All I know is between Philly and Atlanta, it's always coming down to basically Julio and any last-second heroics from Atlanta, because those games are always tight, no matter what happens. But I'll give them props. Philly does put up a hard fight, even though Carson Wentz had to take some snaps off because of multiple possible injuries that he sustained last night. Their wide receiver depth has been tested with Deshaun Jackson hurt. Aguilar was hurt for a second there. Dallas Goedert has been hurt. Clemens has been hurt. Their offensive line has been hurt. I mean, Kelsey was actually going to the wrong sideline before they had to redirect him. He was dazed. So Philly might be hitting an injury bug right now, but no excuses. We don't want no excuses. This is what we're here for as fandoms. This is what the football players play for. They want no excuses when things happen. It's win or lose. Redskin fans, sorry, but it had to happen. All the trash y'all talked all week long, it was coming. Josh Norman, don't backtrack. You said what you said about Dak, and you want to blame a reporter for misconstruing it. Basically, you said the Giants are who they are, and Dak shouldn't be praised for doing what he did because anybody could do it. Well, he did it against you, and now you're backtracking. So, But anyways, that's some of the news coming out today. Roethlisberger is done for the season. Drew Brees is out for about a month. Michael Gallup could be out for possibly up to a month. Antoine Woods is hurt. Eagles have multiple injuries in a lot of positions, but we'll see how that's reported today, the day after, because with adrenaline going, it looks like Wentz doesn't feel a thing. Redskins, they're going to be petty. That was their Super Bowl that they just lost. And across the league, let's get ready for Browns Jets tonight. Odell Beckham has let his mouth do the talking again, so we'll see if he puts up or shuts up tonight. Another day off for the Cowboys. We'll get back at the midday to do a little practice report and our first look at the injury report. And until then, peace. Getting ready for week 3, Miami. Peace.